Anyone who tells you that the Bible does not endorse chattel slavery either has never read it, doesn't understand it, or is just lying to you. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and the fit for this video is Daredevil. And slavery is not only condoned from beginning to end in the Bible, but is explicitly endorsed in parts of it. Probably the most explicit part is Leviticus 25, verses 44 through 46. Now, in this chapter, Leviticus is laying out two different systems of slavery. One for native Israelites, and that's debt slavery. And in Leviticus, it is presented in a unique way because debt slaves serve for 49 years. Rather than the 6 years of Exodus 21 and Deuteronomy 15. And you're supposed to treat your Israelite debt slave kindly. But then we get to verses 44 through 46, where it talks about the chattel slavery that is reserved for non-Israelites, where it says, you will purchase your slaves from the nations around you, from the foreigners and their families that are living among you. You can buy them, you can pass them on as inheritance. They will be your achuzah, your property forever. And then at the very end, it says, but you're not to treat your native Israelite debt slaves harshly or violently like you can your chattel slaves. This is an explicit endorsement of chattel slavery. This is not voluntary. This is not a means of working off debt. This is not a way of preventing captives from mustering a rebellion. This is just chattel slavery, and it is explicitly endorsed ostensibly by God in these passages. Once we get to the New Testament, nobody writing the New Testament is in a position to legislate, to write laws, and so we don't see any laws about slavery. We do see counsel that Christian slaves obey their masters and treat them with respect, especially if their masters are also Christians. But we don't really see anything that is laying out a system of slavery because they were not in charge of it. Their concept of slavery basically just matched the Greco-Roman concept of the broader society of which they were a part. Now, I've heard some people argue that 1 Timothy 1:10 condemns slavery in general because it condemns slave traders. And this is based on the Greek word anthropolistes, which is interpreted to mean slave traders. And this is how this word could be used in classical Greek, but by the time of the composition of 1 Timothy in the late 1st century or early 2nd century CE, it had come to primarily refer to those who engaged in illegal acquisition of slaves and selling and buying slaves on the black market. So illegal slave trading. And you can look at the Greek composition kaliroe from the early 2nd century to see the word being used explicitly to refer to those who go about slave trading illegally. You can look at Harpocration's 2nd century lexicon of the 10 orators for a description of an anthropolistes as an illegal slave trader. So 1 Timothy 1:10 does not condemn slavery in general, nor does Exodus 21:16, which just prohibits the kidnapping of an Israelite citizen, as we see in Deuteronomy 24:7 as well.